everyone and welcome to an unboxing of Aliens, Another Glorious Day in the Core from Gale Force 9, a miniatures board game based on the film Aliens, obviously. And just to get this out ahead of time before we start looking at anything here, I keep this channel family friendly, best I can, no bad language, etc. However, based on the movie this is from, some of the cards, etc. might have bad language. There might be like scenes from the movie in cards and such that show gore. So if you are watching this with someone who is younger, avoid. I'm not going to read out any of the bad language, but it might be visible on the cards. I'm trying to see if there's actually an age rating. It is rated 14+, so that's actually a little bit younger than most of the miniature games I play. I think those are like 16+. But either way, that's a sneak peek at what we're going to look at here. But it's a simple, all-in-one box game. There is some expansions available, one of which I definitely want. I can't say the name of because it includes a swear in the title of it. But it has Ripley and her power armor and the Alien Queen in it, so that should give you a hint for what it's called. But anyway, let's crack this open and take a look. Here we are. Put that to one side. So we have ourselves our rulebook. I've been watching it being played a little bit. It's fairly straightforward, although I think if you are doing a solo campaign, it's very, very easy to like forget the odd thing here and there. But yeah, you get 7 characters you can play. Well, does Newt count? Let's say 6+ Newt. 16 aliens, although the way the game handles aliens, because there's literally like hordes of them coming at you, usually you're just sitting one on top of a big stack representing like 4 or 5 aliens coming after you. Exit tokens, map tokens, mission tokens, character tokens, 2d10s for the Marines, 1d6 for the aliens. And yeah, it's got lots of screen grabs from the movie, just making sure there's no gore ones, because the movie does have its fair share of gore. Let's see, I haven't seen Aliens for quite some time. This is going to encourage me to watch it again though for the first time in a few years. I'm trying to remember all the names of the other Marines. Vasquez, of course, Hicks, Hudson, Frost, Gorman. There's more, but I can't remember them. I think that's as many as I've done. Yep, can't remember any others. I think I did okay. Hang on, how many did I get there? That was like at least 5, right? So there's maybe only a couple I'm forgetting in terms of like the important Marines that last longer than 2 seconds. But yeah, this just kind of covers the game. We can talk about the actual gameplay once we're playing it, but I can talk about the end. Oh, that's it's not a gory picture, but and then there's a quick reference on the back. So then we have our mission cards. I believe the game is broken up into, it's either 4 or 6, but there's some optional missions, like if some of your crew gets captured, you can do an optional mission to rescue them. You can also just decide, you know, let's cut our losses and leave. Let's have a quick look at the objective cards. So mission 1 is Newt. This is when you go to Hadley's Hope and find her hiding in the, she was in a vent, right? So we're not going to go over the specifics for each campaign mission, but we've got campaign 2, 3, there's the optional rescue mission I was talking about. A supply run, I guess, if you want gear. Bug hunt, so not only does it have a campaign which, as I kick the camera, which follows the general storyline of Aliens, there is also kind of like a lasting mode where you just start with a pistol. You've got to like go loot. Almost like a battle royale without the other players trying to kill you, I guess. There's another bug hunt but in a different map. Same again. And same again. I don't know if the campaign or the optional is a better way of learning the mechanics. We have the assembly guide for the Marines. It should be pretty basic for them. Oh, let's see. Hicks, yep. I didn't say Ripley. How could I not say Ripley? Gorman, okay, yeah, I got that right. Newt, obviously. Hudson, yep. Vasquez. And Frost. Okay, I think I did pretty well there. I forgot to mention the most important character of all, Ellen Ripley, but still. And then the assembly instructions for the xenomorphs. Just got to attach their hands, attach their tails. Nothing too complicated, and it looks like, depending on how you choose to do it, you can just assort them into 4 different poses across the 16 it was, I think. Oh, actually, there's some other alternative sculpts on the back. Actually, that's phase 1. So it's not just attach the tail and whatnot. You do have to pick a head, attach the 2 halves of the body together, attach those to the bases. They are unpainted. The xenomorphs, I believe, come in black plastic though, so you don't really need to paint them. But the Marines are all in green plastic, so if you want to paint them, it shouldn't be too bad. I think they're 30mm scale. Does it say on here? No, we'll have to take a look. So now we have all the cardboard, as always. So I believe these are blip tokens. Sorry, not blip tokens, alien tokens. So you make a stack of these and then put a miniature on top, and that represents how many aliens are there. You've got the turrets from the movie, you've got face huggers, blip tokens, which is you turn them around and then you don't know how many aliens are on them, although I believe those are special ones specifically for the Newt mission, hence Newt's picture being right there. Newt has a real name, right? Her name just isn't Newt. No, it is on the assembly instructions. I don't remember her actual name. They just call her Newt. Then we've got, I believe these are like spawn points. These are item boxes. You can buy some 3D terrain for it as well. I'm trying to track down that for a good price. And also some barricades, because you can barricade yourself in and the aliens have to break in to get to you. And then the Xenomorph's face on the tokens there. Speaking of tokens, I believe these are aim tokens. I don't know what they're officially called, but as you fire in one given turn, your soldiers get more and more inaccurate because they're firing. So that keeps track of it, which if you're playing solo again, forgetting to lower your aim after every shot is probably going to become a problem. And then, that is for a mission specific right out of the film, when the two turrets are set up and they just gun down the aliens while the rest of the survivors hide in the control room, I think it was. And then they're in the ceiling. That's a terrifying moment when he looks into the ceiling and they're all just crawling up there. Some stat cards for Newt. Oh, there it is, Rebecca Jordan. She did have an actual name, unless that's the actress's name. They mostly come at night, mostly. That's important to how the game is played. It uses a card system as well as dice, basically to fire, to defense rolls or re-rolls and whatnot. You expend cards from your deck into exhaust. If you have to discard them, they're gone for the campaign, but there is ways to get them back from the exhaust into your draw pile. If you ever run out, I think you just lose. And then there is a reshuffle card and a priority token up there as well. Oh, and that was the round token as well. More characters. Oh, yep, there's bad language on one of these cards, for sure. But anyway, we have Vasquez's card, we have Gorman's card, and we have Frost's card, as well as some alien blips. So you randomize these when they appear on the map. You have them turned over so there's nothing on them, and then you flip them, and then, oh, that's how many aliens have just suddenly appeared. And I think these are computers, maybe? Again, you can get 3D terrain of them. Is there any bad language on this? I don't think so. No. Okay, I think we can look at these properly then. So, of course, we've got Ellen and Ripley's. Speed, defense, melee, tech skill, aim. You put equipment below their cards. I have seen it complained about that if you have if you're doing the campaign and you have a bunch of actual characters, all the stuff you've got to keep around their cards is a little cumbersome. Like, these could all been half the size for sure. But we have Hicks's card there as well, and Hudson. The two, I always get confused because they kind of look alike and they both have H names. They are the same person. So then we have the card themselves for the areas of the game. So it's essentially broken into Hadley's Hope and... where was it the aliens made their nest? Was it like a power station? It's definitely away from the main settlement itself, but I don't recall what kind of building it is. So you've got one side of the tiles, which is Hadley's Hope. And then the other side of the tiles, which is the alien nest, which is very neat. And there's a few different cards for that. That's the room that Ripley and Newt get stuck in with the facehuggers by, what's his face? The Whalen lackey, who cares more about getting infested bodies back to Earth than saving people. He gets what he deserves. That looks like half the command chamber, where they all hide while the guns are shooting. Oh, and that looks like their APC that they get out of the nest in. That looks like very similar to the first part we looked at. And again, aliens on the other side. I don't know what it is about like that particular shade of green on the black die, but I really like that D6 a lot. And that it's great for representing the alien colours. The game is all about skill checks, so that's why the humans roll D10s. You want to get equal to or less than. And I think everybody roughly starts at a 6 or a 7 before they start shooting constantly. So easy to land hits at first, getting progressively much harder. These are the pins for all the various dials. And then we have the sprue. Sprue looks good to me. This doesn't look 30mm, this looks like just less than that. So simple enough assembly, you've just got to attach like the flamethrower or the smart gun. The Newt is just tiny. She got a gun? No, she's holding something. Can't quite tell. And it has all their names on the bases as well, which is nice. We'll just take one sprue of Xenomorph because they are all identical, it's just you build them in a few different poses. And again, because they are already pure black, honestly, like even if, I guess you could paint the bases so they're silver. But the Xenomorphs themselves, you could probably just do like a Draken Shade wash over the top of them to give them a bit of definition. I might try that, because I wasn't going to paint them at all. I was going to paint the soldiers, but not the Xenomorphs, so we could get to playing this quicker. I might try that. Just I'll do a wash over one of them, see how it turns out. And I'll report back in getting stuff painted. Or in a video for this. So then, quick reference cards for what you do in a player turn. You can reset your aim dial, resolve all actions, equip endurance cards, perform 2 actions out of the ones listed, resolve end actions, use your rank to activate grunts because there's like officers and grunts, pass activation token if you're not playing solo, and then what you do in the alien phase depending on whether or not there are currently any visible aliens. Speaking of which, motion tracker cards, going up in severity presumably based on the mission. And they can do a bunch of different stuff, like for instance, exhaust 1 card for each character within line of sight of this blip when it spawns. It spawns 1 alien blip, randomly selected, on spawn point 1. That's what that card means, simple enough. That's a very nice one. I imagine these ones at the back with lots of dots on them are very scary. And then this is the deck that you exhaust to attack, to do basically anything. But it also, you draw cards from it to get new gear. I'm not 100% on how that all works. Oh, like for instance, we've got a pulse rifle there. It costs 3. It can go full auto. Exhaust a card when you take an attack action with this weapon. So if you want to fire it in a turn, you exhaust a card. If you want to fire it again, you also have to do that. After you take an attack action with this weapon, you may take an additional attack action using a grenade weapon equipped to this character. Oh, because it's got the underslung grenade launcher. Yeah, okay. I don't want to look at the specifics of these because I want them to be a surprise. Same with the motion trackers. So I think that is everything. Actually, let me just quickly do a check here. How shiny is this board on the light there? Doesn't seem too bad. A little bit over on the top left. Because like with Blackstone Fortress we found this, the darker cardboard is very reflective. This doesn't seem too bad. The alien side seems slightly worse because of all the, whatever that is, tendrils. It doesn't seem too bad, and I think once the miniatures are painted, and even with just the Xenomorphs being black, it's fine. So yeah, it's not a massively long campaign if you just do the campaign, win or lose. So it's just something I didn't fancy too much at first, but then I watched it being played and was like, oh, I misunderstood this. This actually plays in an interesting, fun way, and is scary at times when you've got like 15 aliens bearing down on you. So I only need to paint up the soldiers, which I'm going to do, and then we'll get started with doing a little short solo campaign playthrough of this, and I'll test the Xenomorph thing like I said. But if you are interested in seeing this sooner rather than later, let me know, and I'll know to prioritise my painting of these miniatures. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Might take a look at the expansion I mentioned when it arrives, because I wanted those miniatures that come in that box regardless of how the game plays. So I'm excited to get them. But yeah, anyway, thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you in the future, hopefully, for another glorious day in the core. Ta-ta for now.